You are listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts, a podcast featuring two crafty besties who love true crime and a good cup of joe. That's so cool. I'm telling you, if anybody wants to open the Crime, Coffee, and Crafts coffee shop,
I think it would be us.
just let us know. I'll never do it again. I'm never again.
So that lovely, beautiful, wonderful, amazing sign was made by my friend Bill.
Hell yeah, Bill.
On social media, he goes by William Davis, or his artwork is on Harlequin Forest Works.
Okay.
That's his carpentry art business.
That's awesome. Does he have a website, or
he only works through social media? So Instagram and Facebook. He's working on his website because that man is amazing with wood and resin, and he just creates really cool stuff. He also makes doormats. He has some crazy equipment that burns your images into things.
Oh, that's awesome.
He makes ornaments and earrings and things that I am gonna buy and send you. He makes these earrings that are butterfly wings.
I mean, you already caught me at earrings because I'm an earring whore.
I know, they're really cool, and I just got to get my money together.
I mean, come on, podcast listeners.
I mean, your girl worked an extra 20 hours of contracts last week on top of her 42 hours.
She's a beast. Seriously.
I
don't know how she does it. You know, I have to say hi, Mom, because I know she will be listening. She listens while she's cooking and cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she texts me like, oh my God, you guys are so funny. She'll like send me comments and I'll be like, what? But then I'll put it together. So that she's listening and she's responding to stuff. So
that's awesome.
She's actually was asking me if you could do some specific artwork, but I had to tell her that you don't have a lot of free time.
But I can work it in if there's something specific.
It's very specific things, so we'll talk.
Okay.
And we would rather you do it than anybody else. So we'll talk later.
I love creating an artwork. So
heck yeah. Well, let's see your coffee.
Ooh, my coffee. I really like this one. It's Bones Coffee, and it's their salted caramel flavor. Yeah, they've got...
Dude!
Is that what you're drinking?
That's what I'm drinking today, too. That's funny.
I love it. And I love the little skeleton they use, because it's the image of the Salt Bay meme guy. He's like...
So funny.
Throwing salt on meats. But they do it as their salt guy for coffee. And it's a medium roast. And this is a small batch because I got a bunch of sample bags.
Yeah, I really like that.
I like that they do the small batch.
You can just taste them all, figure out what you like and don't like without spending a ton of money on like half pounds or full pounds.
Yeah, because your girl doesn't have a lot to spare. So
yeah,
this pack was a good deal for me. I got like a mystery flavor that we already talked about in another episode. And then I have like 4 more different bags.
I'm over here just dripping sweat down my arms.
Well, you're wearing a onesie, but it's Ohio and it's cold.
It's 15 degrees.
Yeah.
Right now, and
it's cold here in North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm upstairs where we don't have insulation yet.
And you have the heat doesn't for some reason go up.
There's no heat in here.
No, I know, but you know how heat rises?
We have a heater. It goes up and out. Just straight out.
It just straight literally goes, it disappears.
That's all it does. It goes straight up and out. Does nothing for these rooms.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
All right.
So my craft.
Yes.
I have a painting I did. And for those of you that know me, know that I have a problem. I love animals. So I have a lot of animals. Whenever anybody asks me about my home life,
I don't think you have a lot of animals.
I have, okay. We're going to list them. 13 chickens, 2 guinea pigs, 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a tank full of fish. And 3 kids.
That's more than I even knew.
And 2 parents.
I didn't know you had the tank of fish.
Yeah, we've had that since 2 houses ago. I got the tank for Doffer for Father's Day.
Oh.
For those of you that don't know, he's my bonus dad. I call him Da. His name is Gary. He's awesome, amazing, wonderful. He's a very good dad.
You're gonna make him cry if he listens to this.
Well, they're behind several episodes. They need to get it together.
Well, get with it.
So anyways, I bought him a tank because he loves fish tanks, and so does my brother Ryan.
Well, of course,
but Ryan's is more of an obsession, and he grows plants in his fish tanks.
Our friend does that here.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had that for 7 years now.
That's awesome.
But anyways, I have cats, and my main man, Clint Eastwood, he's
so cute.
He is. And he's probably the coolest cat. Like, my cats go inside and outside. So even though I live out in the middle of nowhere, USA, my neighbors still love, like, he goes to their houses and they'll let him inside their house.
He's friends with all the neighbors.
He's friends with everybody. So I did a painting of I do a lot of bold colors and like I don't know, abstract.
I would say abstract for sure.
Modern art-ish. But
I think it's Kristen Stract.
Yeah. This is an interpretation of Clint Eastwood in the plants.
He's so cute.
And I love the Monstera plant, the sleeve.
Yes.
It's really fun to draw and paint. And then you got to remember your edges, peeps. It's so important.
We will keep reminding you to do your edges, people.
Always do your edges. And these are all colors I mixed together.
Yes, of course.
I like bold colors, and so I thought this was a fun one to do. And like always, our art is for sale. This one is, although it'd be hard to give it up.
Yeah.
But I still will for the right price.
We'll keep that one around and sell some prints maybe instead.
Yeah, prints would be cool.
Yeah. All right.
So you ready?
I'm ready. I think.
I'm not doing a cannibal this week.
What's about?
I know. I know. I'm starting to become the cannibal queen.
Well, we both did cannibals last time.
I think we needed a break from people eating each other.
Mine was like cannibal light. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, they were just bad serial killers, but like cannibal light.
Right.
So
just a little light.
Just a little
light eating. So trigger warnings for this one. There's talks of Satanism, There's sexual content, animal homicide, murder, and drug use.
Yikes.
So let's get into it.
Yes!
The Corpsewood Manor murders. Dun, dun, dun.
For anybody who doesn't know, that is an amazing story. It's a wild story.
It's weird and wild and crazy.
Real weird.
Just the stuff that they...
Yeah.
I mean, they had some wild parties back in the early 80s.
The times.
Yes, the time of our lives. I'm just kidding. I was only a year old.
Carry on.
In 1982, ripped from the headlines would read A Corpsewood Manor Murders, a story of Satanism, sex parties, and slaughter.
Now, bear in mind, this is during Satanic Panic crazy.
Yeah, this is during...
So, it was pretty heavy back then.
Yeah, there was a lot of murderers and kidnappings.
People literally thought Satanism. And blamed Satanism for everything.
For everything.
Okay, carry on.
All right. There was also a headline that read, "The House of Horrors, Brutal Murders at George's Corpsewood Manor."
Wild.
Yeah, and that was back in the day of newspapers, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you know what those are? I know we always say that, but like, do you even know what a newspaper is anymore? What is it?
It's red and white, or it's black and white and red all over.
Look, she messed up her own.
I messed up my own joke. So anyways, newspapers. I miss them because like you could get the crossword puzzle out of them. And
you know what? I might subscribe to the New York Times or maybe the LA Times because I actually prefer it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll get the Union Tribune. But I really like the LA Times crossword puzzle for anybody who's wondering.
Yeah. So this story is based around a man named Dr. Charles Scudder. And in 1976, on his 50th birthday, he quit his job as a professor of pharmacology at Loyola University in Chicago to move to move with his two dogs and his longtime partner, Joseph Odom. They moved to a 40-acre parcel of land that the couple bought outside of Somerville, Georgia. And a lot of people that went out and researched this and actually went to the property said it's really hard to find.
Right. Well, yeah, because it's not really there. The house isn't there anymore, is it?
Oh, I think so.
It is? Okay. Carry on.
I have to, I cannot deny nor confirm.
Maybe I'll look it up.
So Dr. Scudder had a really good job at Loyola University, and word had it that he would often perform multiple governmental experiments using psychedelic drugs, especially LSD. For those of you that don't know, because I learned that nowadays people don't really know what that is, it's also known as acid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that drug term. But anyways, it's pretty gnarly psychotropic drug that lots of people used in the 70s and 80s.
Still do.
Well, yeah.
Except now.
I found it on someone the other day.
Yeah. Well, now they're using it medicinally, microdosing for people like my father-in-law who've had strokes and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not just using that. They're using all kinds of psychedelics in testing and stuff. It's pretty cool to help.
Like mushrooms.
It helps like rebuild brain cells and stuff. So
for stroke victims and
pretty cool.
It is interesting. I mean, that's what the medicine originally was.
Right.
Created for.
Corpsewood Manor apparently it's just ruins now. So it's
okay,
still
so
technically there, but it's like crumbling.
Crumbled.
So it's
we
should go.
I know.
We should try to find it. Okay, good.
That would be a fun adventure.
Yes.
Especially because I'll get into some other things. We digress again.
Sorry.
Dr. Scudder and Mr. Odom took with them approximately 12,000 doses of LSD to their new abode.
Nice.
They also, I don't know why this is important, but maybe it shows, maybe it was trying to emphasize their demonic or Satanist ways.
Probably.
But they also had a couple human skulls, which I'm gonna be honest, that would be really cool for my collection.
Both of us would want that, and I totally, as a professor, and he just had an interest in that stuff anyway,
in science and everything. Yeah. So they just took the 12,000 doses of LSD, the human skulls, and whatever belongings they had, like clothes. Yeah. They were eccentric, guys. Eccentric couple. They are said to have called their new house the Corpsewood Manor because of the hauntingly bare autumn trees that surrounded and engulfed the mini castle that they built together.
By hand, y'all. Brick by brick.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
It took them a couple years, but they managed to build a kind of crazy.
Yeah, we'll post pictures.
We'll show pictures, but it's pretty crazy what it looked like. Some folks do believe that the property may have also been called Corpsewood because of the stench of death that consumed them when they walked around the manor.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it smelled like that when Dr. Scudder and Odom were there, but the people that went after to report about this and check it out said that it smelled of death. Doctors,
I think they're all wild.
It probably is just a swamp smell. You know how swamps.
Well, it's south. It's the south.
It's Georgia.
It's literally there's gonna
not be saying that it's but like Georgia smells. I'm just saying that it's like
if there's stagnant water, it's gonna be stinky.
It's gonna be stinky, guys. Dr. Scudder is quoted in saying that he longed for an escape from taxes, light bills, gas bills, water bills, heating bills, and the helpless feeling that resulted from watching his old neighborhood disintegrate into an urban ghetto.
Same.
I feel like it would be nice to live off the grid and not have all those bills. Yeah. Live on solar, have well water,
I'm halfway there.
Yeah. I'm like a quarter.
Working on it.
Yeah. This is one of the biggest reasons why the 50-year-old man with his lover, Mr. Odom, found the isolated spot in North Georgia woods to begin their new life. The couple created an elegant atmosphere for themselves. It included rooms that they called, one room was called the chicken house. It was on the 3rd floor. Now, to me, I would think a chicken house would be like what I have in my backyard and what you have, which is our chicken coop and the chicken runs. But no, this was a room in their house that was filled with poultry, food storage, canned goods, and apparently they found this to be the spot for their pornography collection.
That's real strange.
Oh, honey, can you grab that magazine from next to the dead chicken we just killed? That'd be great. Thanks, babe.
While you're there, get me a can of beans.
Okay. They also created another room in the house called the Pink Room, or also known as their pleasure chamber. Dr. Scudder's homosexuality was far from the only secret he had been keeping his whole life. He was also an official member of the Church of Satan. It seems there was much more to the soft-spoken, secretly Satanist homosexual doctor that meets the eye.
Yeah, the 80s, they were definitely...
They were wild.
They were fluffing that story up too. Because the Church of Satan, honestly, like when you look at their values, I totally agree with their values. I don't worship Satan, neither do they, but yeah.
No, and I'll get into that.
Yeah.
The doctor also, he wasn't only eccentric in his life, but he also liked to dye his hair purple and have a pet monkey.
I would have been friends with him.
The couple, sorry. I'm sure he would have liked you to dye his hair for him.
I mean, I totally would have.
Yep. The couple's home was guarded by 2 mastiffs, which, if you don't know, are I know you know, but the world. They're giant dogs. Aww. They're big dogs.
I wonder what kind of mastiff they were.
I don't know. It just says 2 mastiffs.
Oh, I wish we knew what kind.
I think there's pictures of them.
They're also drooly.
Yeah, real drooly, but they're big old teddy bears. And if you train them to be guard dogs, they will do what they need to do.
They will do their job.
Yeah. They decided to name one of them Beelzebub, named for a demon.
So cute.
Why did I say demon? It doesn't end in a D.
You and me are not the only 2 people who do that.
I always question, why do I say demon? Anyways, a demon. The other was named Arsanath after an H.P. Lovecraft character.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. Legend states that the pair also summoned an actual demon to aid the dogs in protecting the property.
Why would they do that?
It was part of their practices, I guess.
Shit, they took it to a new level.
Yeah. The couple also decorated in like a gothic interior exterior design.
Yes. Love it.
Even creating a pink gargoyle to sit at the top of the property.
I'm totally okay with that.
To guard it. Dr. Scudder also found a stained glass window adorned with a prophet known as Baphomet, which is an important figure in the Church of Satan.
Yes.
Dr. Scudder thought of Corpsewood Manor as more like a mausoleum, a tomb, requiring care, cleaning, and endless costly repairs. But apparently, Dr. Scudder, like other members of the Church of Satan, didn't actually worship Satan. And instead, they were atheists who chose to celebrate worldly pleasures that he and other church members felt were denied to humans by the Abrahamic religions. So,
which I do agree.
Yeah, so they just basically had this view on life that they wanted to do what they wanted to do.
Well, exactly. And thinking like during the 80s, especially in places like Georgia, being out, because they were not out, I don't think, prior to moving.
No,
they were not.
He also was married twice and has children. And when he was in Chicago, even though they were longtime partners,
right? Longtime roommates is what they probably would have said.
Probably, yeah.
Which just breaks my heart. And they were just trying to find a serene spot to.
They were just trying to find a place to live out their lives and just
be themselves.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
They were eccentrics. That's really all they were. But they liked pleasurable things for them.
You do you.
You do you, boo. The couple decided to celebrate those pleasures now that they were at Corpsewood Manor. So they felt like they could have sex parties centered around their pink room and just be them and have friends that would come over.
Right.
And their pink room was painted entirely pink, and it was filled with mattresses, candles, whips, chains, pornography. I guess they moved their pornography around the house, from the chicken room to the pink room.
Yes.
They even had a logbook listing the guests' sexual preferences so that they would remember who liked what.
I mean,
although if the person's there, wouldn't you like?
Well, you don't want to have to ask every time.
Well, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you got all those multiple partners, it would probably be hard to keep up.
I bring it back to my food issues. If somebody asks me every time, can I eat something that's obvious? No.
Yeah.
Like cake. No, I cannot eat the cake. Once again, it has flour in it.
Right. Gluten.
I will die. Thank you very much.
Don't do this. We do not make Heidi cake.
I mean, I make my own.
Unless yeah. So while the acts were reportedly consensual, the pink room parties are the reason that on the night of December 12th, 1982, Corpsewood Manor turned into a bloody murder scene.
Shit.
Dr. Scudder and Odom encouraged all their guests to indulge in every kink they wanted and do drugs and have just an insane amount of pleasurable experiences. But unfortunately, that type of behavior can only go on for so long before something terrible happens.
Right.
I mean, in my area, we have swinger.
Same here, actually.
We have swinger clubs, and we, our patrol gets called out to them often. And
well, because there are rules that you are supposed to stick to if you're going to be in that life.
So it just seems like,
and not everybody can handle it.
No.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
That whole life I am not into.
Not for me.
Not for me.
I don't
not
share.
For me.
I don't share well at all.
No. So yeah. I don't understand it, but to each their own. Now we're gonna get into specifics on the guests.
Okay.
There was regular guest named Kenneth Avery Brock. He was a 17-year-old. I don't know how he ended up at this party.
He's a child.
Yeah. He also had a 30-year-old roommate named Samuel Tony West. Now, Brock had several homosexual encounters with Dr. Scudder at Corpsewood, and eventually Brock brought his roommate West there for more of the same, or at least just to party and drink and do drugs, since it was a party house. And you could do sex stuff or just hang out and get stoned. West felt that Brock had been taken advantage of by Dr. Scudder, and it's unsure whether he did take advantage of him. I mean, he was technically a child, but he was, all accounts say it was consensual.
Right.
Brock and West decided to return to Corpsewood and rob the couple in their isolated home, because they knew the entrances, exits, what was going on, parties.
Right.
So Brock and West, along with two other teenagers, Joey Wells and Teresa Hudgens, made their way to Corpsewood Manor on December 12th, 1982. They had guns and intentions on robbing the couple. I don't think they intended to murder them. I think they intended to just rob them, because apparently it looked like they had a lavish lifestyle. So there must be riches and gold and yeah. At first, the four pretended as though they were there to party and hang out like they normally did in the past for the sex parties. Mm-hmm. And at some point, Dr. Scudder offered some of their homemade wine along with other chemicals to huff.
Sounds fun.
So
not at all.
No, huffing chemicals is not good for your brain. You lose those brain cells completely. You cannot regrow them.
I don't like altering anything.
Ugh, no. During this drug and alcohol fueled get together, Brock decided to go retrieve a rifle from the car. According to later testimony, upon seeing the gun, Dr. Scudder, probably already a little intoxicated, giggled and said, "Bang, bang."
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a last gasp of joviality before things became terribly grim. So that was like the last moment of fun.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. Scudder was held at knife point and ordered to give up his non-existent fortune. Odom was surprised in the kitchen of the main house, and he was shot 4 times.
Oh my God.
Brock also killed the couple's 2 mastiffs, who never even stirred from their place beside the fire.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Don't touch the dogs.
They didn't need to die. They weren't even getting up from the fireplace. One of the owners died, and he straight up didn't move. And there were
gunshots, and the dogs didn't even move.
Yeah.
You didn't need to kill the dogs, buddy.
Yeah. Bound and gagged, Scudder was led from the pink room to the main house, where he was confronted with the body of his companion. So he didn't even know they were in 2 separate places of the house. So Dr. Scudder didn't know his partner had already been killed. His last words were supposedly, "I asked for this," like in a question form. He's like, "I asked for this," before West shot him 5 times in the head.
Shit.
Yeah. Immediately following the brutal slaying, the 2 perpetrators fled in Scudder's Jeep. I'm sorry, I forgot. Hold, please. Do not disturb.
That's the best tone ever.
That's my droid. That's the closest thing I could find to a droid.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh.
Okay. So they fled off in the Jeep.
Did you get lost?
Oh, no. I was like, what did I write here? The Jeep had white painted pentacles.
Okay.
On the doors, like pentagrams.
Right.
The bodies of Scudder and Odom weren't found until 2 days later, when a friend came by their secluded house to notify them of the death of another acquaintance in nearby Rome, Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
So one of their friends passed away, and so the friend was coming to tell them.
Can you imagine?
We found the 2 bodies and the dogs.
Oh my God. I would be filled with rage if I found my friend and their animals murdered.
Yeah. It would be anybody who's gone through any of that traumatic stuff. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to find your loved ones
No.
Brutally murdered. Meanwhile, looking for a less conspicuous getaway vehicle, because, that's
kind of
clearly stands out as a vehicle of interest.
Definitely.
Brock and Wes kidnapped a Navy lieutenant, Kirby Phelps, from a rest stop near Bonneville, Mississippi, just with the intention of tying him to a tree and stealing his vehicle.
These guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah. They're not smart. While Brock was unloading the Jeep, however, West shot Phelps twice. It sounds like the 30-year-old was just into violence. Like, he's inciting a lot of violence for this 17-year-old child.
Might be a little off his rocker.
Yeah. The two men then split up. Brock voluntarily surrendered to the police in Georgia on December 20th. That's 8 days later. While West did the same in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Christmas Day. So they both gave themselves up.
Yeah, they're both fucking idiots.
I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking.
They thought they were smart enough to get away with it.
Well, here's the thing, like, they legit went there to rob them and they didn't get anything.
They ended up murdering four lives, I'll say, because
Five.
Well, I'm just saying the initial thing.
Oh, yeah. And then they killed the man that they stole the car from.
Stupid.
Unfortunately, in the media circus surrounding the murders, Dr. Charles Scudder and Joseph Odom became victims once again, but this time in the court of public opinion.
Yep.
Being openly gay and also interested in the occult, Scudder had joined because he joined the church. I'm sorry.
We understand.
He had joined the Church of Satan to see what it was like.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I tried out, I guess. According to a friend, the two were easy targets for the satanic panic.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Which was sweeping the nation at the time, which you had brought up.
Yeah, it was a wild, wild thing. People were out of their fucking minds.
Yeah, just panic. It didn't help that during his confession, West said, "All I can say is they were devils and I killed them. That's how I feel about it." Reports stated that both men were found guilty. Brock received 3 consecutive life terms, while West was sentenced to death.
Good.
West's death sentence was later overturned on appeal, unfortunately. But today, both men are behind bars.
Good.
Stories began to circulate about the couple's unusual homestead, and
it's so sad.
Yeah, and because of the manor's name, it became what's the term? Sensationalized?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. It just became a story that people wanted to go and find out about this place. They heard about all the weird stuff. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really interesting
and didn't people
place that they built.
Going there specifically to, you'll get to it. All right.
Yes. So even before a fire destroyed, so it was destroyed by fire.
Yeah.
That's why it was crumbled. Sorry, I forgot what I wrote. My bad.
This is our retry. We had to retry because recording was not working.
It was not going well last week. Yeah. They would take non-brick portions of the building, people began to say that the place was also haunted. So whether Corpsewood's alleged paranormal activity was due to the brutal murder of its inhabitants or the devil worshipping that supposedly went on beforehand depends on who you ask.
Right.
That has any knowledge about any of it. Even today, those that visit the ruins of Corpsewood Manor say that they hear gunshots, barking of dogs, and even invisible strains of a golden harp. Scudder had a harp that he kept at the house and played, but it was too large for the murderers to cart away. So
yeah, they're also really fucking heavy.
Yeah. Those that take a brick from the crumbling remains of the building are said to be cursed for life.
As they should be. You don't take shit like that. Like, yeah, it would be cool to have a piece of it, but like, really not cool to be cursed for the rest of eternity.
No, leave that stuff alone. Just leave it be.
Yeah.
It's not yours. Don't take it.
Yeah. Quit stealing from these people.
Quit stealing from them. But I think it would be a really neat place. Like, on social media stuff, like, I follow haunted locations. Yeah. And
there's a prison so I want to go to.
Yeah.
There's a haunted prison I want to go to.
Well, so. I would want to go to it too.
Absolutely. Sounds fun.
So that is the unfortunate tale of Dr. Scudder and Joseph Odom. They were just trying to live their pleasurable lives.
They just wanted
they
to be
lost
open.
Their lives because of it.
Yeah. It's
whether anybody understands what they wanted to do with their lives, they went away and just
they wanted to live
on their own
lives.
And these guys came in and just ripped it away from them.
Well, it's like even today in certain areas, especially rural areas, it's not accepted, which is really fucked up, honestly. Look, she has 2 cups of coffee. What in the best mom in the galaxy? That's amazing.
This is from my adopted child.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. So, Bethany, when you hear I'm using your mug, thank you.
Brava, Bethany.
She's not really my adopted child. She's just a teenager that adopted herself.
Basically, she adopted herself.
She adopted me. And I know her parents, and so it's all good in the hood, y'all.
Hell yes.
All good in the hood.
All right. That story is so sad, but like
no, it needs to be told because here is my takeaway for folks. Yes, sometimes people live a life that we don't understand or we might not care to know about, but it does not give us the right to be hateful, mean, rude, crude, and downright
murderous.
Evil.
Don't be a murderer.
Don't be a murderer. But let's have some compassion for people and just
it's hard to
we've got to bring kindness back into the world. We've been hating on each other for far too long.
Hell yeah.
We need to lift each other up, not tear each other down.
100%.
That's just my goal in life, to teach people that. Because I see it all the time, every day. Words are making people do violent things, and it's stupid.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. But, some people just, I don't know why they can't stop being so hateful. So it's really sad.
I know.
Oh, well.
Go do good things for people.
Yes, do good
Go
things.
Be nice. Just tell someone they have nice hair.
Literally, those things make people's days.
Yeah, they could be a complete stranger.
We were just talking about that yesterday on the phone with Nathaniel.
Yeah. Nathaniel's my brother, by the way. But I was I had a contract at a basketball game this last week, and I was helping a girl get into a locker room. And she looked at me and she said, I heard you talking over there, and you just have such a lovely voice, and I just want you to know that. And that stuck with me. It was nice. She said, you're just so patient and kind.
Well, you are.
And I don't think people, they see a uniform and they just expect me to be an asshole, but I am not. I am
well,
kind.
You stick to what others
I preach
should stick to, is that if you treat people with respect and kindness, you will receive respect and kindness.
Yeah.
In most times.
Most times. But my biggest thing is go compliment a stranger, be kind to people, hold the door open, carry some groceries for someone who needs help. I don't care what it is. Just be kind and nice.
Yeah.
Get out there and be awesome.
Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Love.
I think that's a good spot to end things on. I like it. All right. Until next time. Ta-ta!
For now.
Thanks for listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts. If you love our podcast, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. This helps us more than you know. If you really love us and want to support us, go to our website at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. From there, you can join our Patreon, shop our merch, and find us on social media.